it is going to be Tabatha Ricci versus Lupita Godinez. This is going to be the all simp kind of fight. They're going to get a lot of eyes on this fight from a lot of simps, so it's going to be a fun one. Tabatha Ricci, Baby Shark, she is 9-1, 4-1 in her last five. She's coming off that unanimous decision win over Jillian Robertson. 28 years old, so kind of in the prime of his career as well. Lupita Godinez, she's 11-3, 4-1 her last five, coming off that pretty impressive win over Elise Reed. Both of these girls are pretty similar in measurables and pretty similar in ages, so no gaps there. Odds for this fight right now, Lupita Godinez opened up at a minus 170, and she has been since bet down to minus 153. So pretty interesting there. Alex, yeah, I'll let you take this one as well, and I'll share my thoughts later. What do you think about this fight between Ricci and Godinez?
So first on Tabatha Ricci, I think she's kind of like the definition of a points winning fighter. She's very active in the ring, a lot of feints, jabs, combos, calf kicks. Um, while Loopy is more of like a stalk you down one punch and then look to wrestle. Um, so in terms of a pick here or like a bet that I like the over 2.5. Um,
Mhm.
First, just based on statistical data, the over 2.5 looks really good just based on the fact that Loopy has never knocked out anyone. Um, Loopy also has, Loopy does have three submission victories, but Tabatha Ricci has never been submitted. Then on Tabatha Ricci's side, as I mentioned in the very beginning, she's a points winning fighter. So like I'm watching her tape, she doesn't look like she has any power.
Mhm.
Um, and then if you kind of like base it on tape and what I've watched for Loopy, I feel like if there's anyone, if there's a fighter that's going to finish the other fighter, it's Loopy. I feel like she's the one that has finishing equity. She wobbled Angela Hill as well as Elise Reed in her last fight. Um, but I think Tabatha Ricci is, skilled enough to avoid getting finished. After all, this fight is a pick'em based on the odds. So yeah, I like the over 2.5 here.
Yeah, you took the words straight out of my mouth. I mean, in my notes here, I say over 2.5, good parlay piece. So I'm probably gonna play the same thing as you right there. Ricci, I mean, jujitsu grappler. She can come forward, work in some trips and takedowns. Pretty good top control and pressure. Tries to work in the subs mainly on the ground after she gets into some scrambling exchanges. Not the best striker from what I've seen. She has a negative striking differential. I think she's been pretty given pretty good matchups to implement her game plan of pressure and grappling, right? If you look at some of the fighters that she's fought, not the most dangerous people. Maybe the most dangerous person that she got a win over was Vienna. And then the other dangerous person that she fought coming on short notice and maybe like a weight class above was when she fought Manon Farrow and she got like knocked out, I believe, right? So yeah, I think that she's had some pretty good game plans for certain opponents like a Jillian Robinson or a Jessica Penne, those kind of people. Um, in this fight, though, I think that it might work to her disadvantage, though, because I think that Lupi is a thick, good, strong wrestler, great wrestling credentials. She also has good boxing, pretty like tight, clean hands that are quick. She has a positive striking differential, and her striking accuracy is much better than Tabatha Ricci. Tabatha Ricci, I think, 37% striking accuracy, Lupi 50%. So that's going to play a huge part here. Um, the only gripe that I've had with Loopy over the years, because trust me, I've watched a lot of this girl. She has
Yeah.
fought in the UFC for like last like couple 2 3 years, and sometimes she wouldn't pull through. Like when she lost against Angela Hill, that was something that was really disappointing for me. I think that fight card was in San Diego, and the huge Mexican presence, and everyone was rooting for her. She was a big favorite against Angela Hill, and she came out and just definitely lost that fight. Like it was a not a close decision fight in my opinion. Um, so she has let people down in the past, but after that loss, I mean, she's kind of racked up three straight dubs, right? Three straight pretty good dubs. Um, I think that since training with Alexa Grasso, she has looked more reliable as opposed to her prior fights. You know, she's coming off of a pretty dominating club and sub where man, she was dropping at least Rita all over the place. So I mean, she was pretty dominant in that fight. So for me, just because I think she's a better striker in this matchup, and I think she can hold her own in the kind of physical component against Ricci and also in the grappling department, I would say Loopy by decision would be something that I will attack when the prop drops. So I think that's a good prop play right there. And as you mentioned, over 2.5 is something that I will be sticking in parlays as well. I think that this fight is definitely going to decision. So pick here is Luby by decision and over 2.5, something that I will look forward to putting in parlays as well.